Welcome to Numb Bills Fan Podcast. It's your boy Dave.
Adam D holding down the co-host seat, as usual.
Your two favorite imbeciles, asswipes, whatever you want to say, but
Hey, I'm cool.
we're probably not your favorites, and you're probably not cool either.
We probably are their favorites.
But together, we think we're cool.
We're pretty cool.
Yeah, I got a new sweatsuit today after the Bills game. This is the post-game show.
The Bills are way cooler than us.
Yeah, Indy, Buffalo. Indy tried to come into the Rolf. And really, the Buffalo Bills just shut out Andrew Luck.
Yeah. Gave him a real hard day. That was actually the worst first half he's had since he was drafted.
I never knew that.
Yep. That's the things you pick up when you don't get to go to the game.
Sorry.
But Dave was there.
Yeah, I was there. I mean, it was electric.
That's what they all say.
It was crazy. Wow. Sorry, there was a table. Yeah, I couldn't, I couldn't believe it. It's just so crazy to be sold hope for so long. I mean, Russ Brandon is a freaking genius. That dude is a genius because I've been buying on and I've been believing in this Bills thing, and they were trotting out whoever. Because really, I mean, we're hometown fans. Well, we're technically from Rochester, but I was freaking Buffalo a lot for a few years, and I love Buffalo. Like, I love the food, I love the people, I love everything, and it's like a second home to me and Deacon, and it's like to be a part of those games all the time. It's really something special, and they sold us on something with Rex Ryan. You bring in a real coach, and now you're selling 60,000 seats, like to season ticket holders, is crazy. And we always tell ourselves, you know what, with this guy and this guy, we can make it work. We can do whatever. And with Rex, at least for this game so far, he's put his money where his mouth is.
Absolutely. I mean, they really looked dominant out there, especially in the first half.
Yeah, I thought this guy can't move the ball on the Bills. I mean, I couldn't believe it because, sometimes as a Buffalo fan, you want to think, oh, that defense is fine. Oh, that defense is fine. Oh, whatever. I don't know. You still got to perform. You still got, Kyle Williams said a couple years ago, man, this lineup looks great, yada, yada, yada. And he goes, look, we still got to play the games, man. Anything can happen. I mean, Corey Graham getting hurt first play out there today on defense.
I panicked because I had genuine concerns about Ronald Darby, and to me that was my comfort blanket. Corey Graham's out there. He's gonna assist in coverage.
Oh,
everything's gonna be fine. He went down so early, and I was just like, ugh.
And if you think about it too, they were dropping Aaron Williams down a lot. And having like a cover one kind of thing.
Yeah,
and I think that was supposed to be Corey Graham's role because Corey Graham is a hell of a lot better corner. No disrespect, Aaron, but I mean, you know it too. I know you're listening. But like, he's the shit, man. Like, Corey Graham is the shit, dude. When you threw the ball on him, you weren't having any luck. That guy is as smart as Peyton Manning on the field. Yeah, I know, it's kind of crazy, but...
Oh, absolutely.
Look who he's picked off. If it wasn't for him with the Ravens upsetting the Broncos, I'm sorry, they're not going to the Super Bowl, the Ravens, and winning it. Corey Graham stepped up, and he's slowly, Buffalo kid, built up, and having him lost, I was like, oh my God. But I saw what we thought we would see, which is a lot of leaving one safety right, kind of playing center field, dropping a guy down for man coverage. And that's the beauty of having two cornerbacks as safeties. And if you notice who dropped next, that was Aaron Williams next in line to drop. So that shows you they like having corners because they didn't have Rambo drop down the coverage.
Right. And one thing that I do want to say is I'm really, really glad that Darby came up with that pick, kind of put his name on the map, said, hey, you know what? You're not going to pick on me. I'm glad he established that early on.
And he even had a nice pass breakup. Ronald Darby stepped up, man. And again, with the coaches saying, this kid can play.
Yeah. For me, though, defensive player of the game, Stephon Gilmore. His play was off the chain today. He was so good out there.
Yeah, he stepped up, man. The ball was slippery. Wish you would have got that pick.
There was a couple times where he could have pulled it in maybe, but he was tackling so aggressively. He was breaking up passes.
He was glue out there. I mean, and again, cornerbacks are going to get beat, and it sucks when we see it because, you know, I'm going to be dead honest with you. Like, when they took Gilmore, one thing I freaking hate this with sports. Don't anoint because a dude is a first-round pick that dude's going to come in and come through and pull in with this crap. You can't anoint him great until he proves it. And he came off to a solid start his rookie year. A solid start. Do I think he was great? No. I didn't. And I hate it when people were tossing around, oh, he's great, he's fine, he's great. Yeah, I would go with he's fine. He's going to grow. And second year, he had the club hand thing going on.
Yeah.
Last year,
that was something else.
He came into form, and people are still saying his second year, oh, he's great, he's great. No, dude, he's not great. If you're saying that he's great instead of he could be great or he has the potential to be great, I got an issue with that. And I hate when people shoot those hard statements out there like that when he hasn't proved it. Or maybe you just believe that and you're not dumb. We all have an opinion. But it's just, I think you need to clarify. It's too loose. And it's too premature, quite frankly, to make those statements to these guys. How that relates to Darby. Darby came out firing on all cylinders in camp or in OTAs. In camp, in preseason games, now game one. Darby has come out. Andrew Luck underthrew that ball. That kid eyed that up, made a gorgeous play.
Yeah, it was
made a
real
gorgeous
nice.
play.
His form was great on that. His head was tracking the ball like he was supposed to. You know, just kind of shattering a lot of these criticisms that have come at him throughout the preseason.
Right. And you know, man, I was screaming like an asswipe, you know, and because you guys asked, I'll tell you what I screamed. Take that, Mark Hyper. Take that, whoever the hell. Oh, the Bills don't need a corner. I don't know why they would take that. I'm going to grade their draft an F. Just for go shove it. No, you know, screw it. I'm going to grade them because they still don't have an answer at the quarterback position. What the hell does that have to do with how they drafted? And you know what? They always say you can't have enough corners. You know, and again, they always say, I'm puppeting shit I hear. I don't know anything. I'm just connecting my dots. You're connecting your dots, Deacon. And it's like Ronald Darby showed the hell up, and he shut a lot of people up. You want to try Ronald Darby? They knew they were going to. And you could tell they were playing zone on half the field and leaving Gilmore one-on-one.
Oh, yeah.
With Johnson. And you know what? T.Y. Hilton is a shifty little guy. I don't even know if he's little. He's just fast, man. Like, he's just shifty dude. He's going to get open. He's going to get those underneath routes. It's going to happen. But at the same time, okay, challenge Ron Darby. Why didn't people throw on him at Florida State? Because he was covering the dude so good. And that's what Rex said when they picked him up.
He was right there. He's stride for stride with all of these, like, top speed, high gear receivers, he's right there. He's got the feet, man.
Didn't some people say though he was the best cover corner out of the draft?
I mean, arguably yes. I am surprised he didn't go higher, and I've said that before.
I just think it's interesting that everything is just going crazy with like defensively. I mean, couldn't believe it. Everybody stepped up. Bradham had a sack. I mean, Preston Brown was in some coverage, and man, it wasn't all that bad. There was a touchdown from Andrew Luck, and it looked like Aaron Williams blew the coverage, or the guy next to him, which is I'm gonna assume the cornerback. I don't know what corner was down there with him, but Aaron Williams was in coverage, and he went towards the sideline, which allowed a guy with the slant over the top to come in. So I think Aaron Williams was supposed to play zone, and as we talked earlier, I don't think Aaron Williams is going to be the safety that dropped down the cover. So he's going off mental capacity. He could have screwed up, could have been a mental error, or it could have been anybody. And, initially you want to be, Aaron Williams, what the hell are you doing? Nah, dude, somebody else wants to, maybe you're supposed to slide down or something. There was a miscommunication. It was unfortunate. But other than that, I really didn't see the defense slipping up. I was a little worried about running towards the left side, and I'm 99% sure that was always where Darius should have been lined up because they're running away from Kyle Williams when they were running.
Right.
And I was worried about them setting the edge. And remember that Oakland game we talked about last year where without Darius, the run game, we were like, uh-oh. And that it looked like they ran some nice power runs in the beginning.
They did, but Corbin Bryant did a nice job in there.
I didn't feel a huge drop off. You know what I mean?
I just can't wait to see them next week. That's kind of where my mindset with it is just like it was good and it's gonna be better next time with Darius. And I mean, again, nice work, Corbin Bryant. We know you're listening. You just filled $100 million shoes.
What was up with Frank Gore? 30 yards or something?
Yeah.
Did he go out hurt? I don't get any of the info.
He was a little. He was tweaked. He returned though. He came back
because the kid from around Toronto, forgot his name because I'm such a pro. He was on the John Murphy show last Friday. Check it out. The kid sounds like a good kid. Tyler Varga, that's his name. They met him at the Senior Bowl. John Murphy. And John Murphy, you're the freaking king, man. We love you. Like, my friends, we're driving a damn tailgate. We're just like, man, me and my friend Dave were like, we want to chill with John. We just want to hang out with John. Because, John, I know you're a ball buster. I could just tell. You're real quick-witted, and that's cool, man. Like, and you got to do the Roby roast, which I didn't go to, but that would have been kind of cool to see you outside of the podcast and really watch you light some dudes up. But that dude was on that podcast, and Tyler Varga sounds like a good kid. And he got the ball a couple times. He was kind of shifty. I was like, damn, this kid can move. And for him to be right behind Frank Gore, undrafted, that's kind of cool. You were saying that the Colts are the first guys to call him up. He's like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, but the Bills' defense,
they really, stopped the run. All that concern.
They shit on those guys' backfield, man. I mean, they only even tried to run 17 times. Got 64 yards out of those 17 attempts. That is nothing. Their longest run of the day, 11 yards. It was Andrew Luck.
Really? See, dude, I don't see any of these stats.
See this?
This is all like news to me.
Yeah.
We're not at some radio studio. we're at Breezeway Studios.
Yeah,
walk on my front door or side door.
we
Whatever.
literally. I mean, we have no producer like handing this to us right now.
Yeah, I got clothes on today. There's
Dave
no
is
bag.
wearing pants.
Yeah, I got this sweet like tracksuit looking thing. Allegedly some on-field apparel. It's fresh. It'll be picked soon. Deacon's got a crispy 2014 Ralph C. Wilson Sammy Watkins edition white jersey, which all credit to you wearing white. I wear dark colors so I can rub in the stains and.
Oh man, this had coffee stains on it from last year when we rode up to that Chiefs game. Spilled my cup of coffee down the front of this. I thought I was never gonna get them out, but it actually looks pretty good now.
You know what I need? I need a P-bib. Like on the league, how Taco was selling P-bibs. I need a P-bib, dude, because like I don't like I got like these khaki shorts. I don't know what it is, man. Sometimes you just stop peeing. You're like, you know what? I'm all set. Then next thing you know, you got a spot. You're like, you got to do this to me, fam. I thought we were tight, you and me. And you got to leave a little same. So that's why it's nice to wear like dark colors, because then you have a mishap. Maybe you guys want to go out on a date. I'm all set in the dating department. I have a significant other, I guess you could call her. She's cool. She puts all my shit. And my friends like her more than they like me. So that's cool, because then like today you're tailgating. So life advice segment. You're tailgating. You got your dark colored pants on. You're prepped in case you have some kind of slow burn after effect. And next thing you know, you're just chilling with your friend while your girlfriend is busy hanging out with your other friends. And you don't got to worry about it. You don't got to worry about keeping her busy. She's keeping herself busy. And that's why you got to tailgate. That's the advantage of it. Because then you still get the credit for hanging out with your girlfriend.
I see it.
Yeah, I mean.
So basically it all comes back to dark colored clothes, though.
Yes, because you get a stain. Any shirt I have, I'm dropping shit on it. Like, give me a hot dog. I will find a way. If I had that white jersey, dude, it would look like I ran it over 5 times.
You know, I took good care of it. Yeah, I poured coffee down the front of it, but I attribute that spill 100% to your driving. Actually, to be fair, I'm pretty sure Dean drove. Yeah, Dean was driving when it happened.
Yeah, drunk Dean is
you got to get that boy driving before
Instagram.
Before the game, not after. He
Check
can't
Instagram.
drive. He can't drive after. We love you, Dean. We know you're listening.
I didn't get permission from Dean. He actually said, no, you're not going to post videos of me on your freaking Instagram. You know what, dude? Sue me. Dude, I'm posting videos of you on Instagram as drunk Dean. That's your hashtag. Because
dude,
that's it. You're done. And I don't know how that guy gets any girls, because you know he pisses himself. There's no way. Dude,
yeah, he has to piss himself.
He's
sometimes.
That drunk guy that, like, to me, the drunker he gets, the less cool he is. Because he just trolls me, and I can't say tries to troll me because it's very successful. But he does wear dark clothes, at least dark pants.
Oh, he's gotta.
I don't even know why people want to go near him, but
Dean, we love you.
Yeah, you're beautiful. But as far as the tracksuit goes, it's actually like a crew neck, some nice sweats. I'm comfy. I'm cozy. I'm set. I got pumped. I went to the Bills store after I got this. Picked up a Percy Harvin jersey. And I think it's all good. I'm feeling fresh. I even bought Bill's socks and already have a hole in them. Great. And I'm feeling this team, man.
Percy had a nice day today.
Yeah, he did, man. He really did. But, like, if you really sat back and look at it, the moral of our story here, going around and round and round in circles, is Rex Ryan's defense stepped up. And it didn't matter who the hell was in there. Ron Brooks had some nice plays.
Might smacked a couple of people.
Even
That was a
Butler.
penalty.
Even Butler was in there.
Yeah, Mario Butler made some sick plays.
You know, these guys are putting this coaching staff. They're putting their guys in position. What'd you think about the offense with Tyrod Taylor today?
Tyrod looked ready. He looked confident. He moved the ball well. Struggled maybe a little bit on third down. That's going to be my criticism. I'll try to say what he did well as what he needs to work on, and third down is definitely it.
How do you think how did they do on
I
third
think
down?
it was 5 out of 13 on third, which isn't great. But I mean, that's the thing that was interesting to me about looking at the game from a statistics standpoint. The time of possession was very close. The Bills had 11 total drives. The Colts had 10. They were, I think, within 40 points of each other in total offense, but the Bills just put up
You mean yards?
literally,
Yards?
or yeah, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
okay.
But the Bills put up literally twice as much points in the same amount of time.
Well, here's what's weird about watching a game. And when you watch the game at a stadium, you don't have as much access to stats because they're constantly flashing shit. And I think the thing that they put on my side and the jumbotron, it's kind of like a far turn. I never think to look at it. I think it's like a fantasy jumbotron.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Speaking of where you are in relation, shout out your section, man.
Oh yeah. Shout out to 331. Holler.
Mm-hmm.
We had a special guest, David Larson, got a ticket. But as far as like, I don't know what the stats are when I'm in the section. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on. And what I came on with that game is we talked. What do they got to do to win this game? And they did exactly what they needed to do, which was get that offense out there long enough to have some time of possession, which I believe the Colts actually had more of until like the fourth quarter.
Oh, I mean,
And
ultimately
they
they were like within a minute of each other by the end of the game.
were they? Because think about it, that has been the Bills' biggest damn problem, is keeping that defense on the field too long. And when Tyrod Taylor was out there, you know what I did not feel on third down or any down in distance? I did not feel hopeless.
No, not at all. Like, he really pushes to make it happen. And like I said, they could have converted those third downs at a little bit higher rate, but ultimately they got the ball down the field enough times to win the game.
And that kid, man, every time he's running, his eyes are down the damn field.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good decision making. Couple of times I was really asking myself if any one of these other guys were in there, EJ or Castle or whoever.
Oh my gosh.
Would they have
Dude,
gone down? Would they have
like,
thrown it away? Would they have thrown it into coverage? Would it be an interception? Where would we have been with somebody else? I think Tyrod's right where he needs to be.
I'll be honest with you, like, and sorry to the PC world, but like, I didn't know what anxiety was until like late in my life. I'm 31, and about a couple years ago, I picked up smoking weed, call it whatever the hell you want, and I did not know what anxiety was, to put a label to it. And I will be honest with you, I put a label of anxiety to what I would feel like when Fitzpatrick was in there, what I would feel like with I'm a full supporter of EJ Manuel. But with Tyrod, I didn't feel that there was a learning curve. Because I have not seen him throw a very, very memorable bad ball. You can attest to this. I was getting in the bathroom or something, and I missed a third down play, and I believe they got the last field goal, and I heard he overthrew a dude in the end zone by just a little bit. I think he overthrew Harvin again, right? Or Watkins.
It was Watkins.
And I even thought that ball he threw towards Watkins, where there was a defender right there. The defender never turned around, but it was okay. Tyler scrambled around. He saw Watkins threw it up by the sideline. I believe it was his first attempt to Watkins, and it was in the second half. And it was a smart play because Trent Edwards weren't throwing that ball. Ryan Fitzpatrick would have, but it would have been awful. Sorry, Ryan. Love you, dude. But
Kyle Orton would have never got it there.
Kyle Orton, I think Kyle Orton would have tried, but I don't think he would have been able to get out of trouble to get to that.
He would have wrapped himself up already.
EJ, I think, would have been too scared to throw that ball. And what I liked that he did, Tyrod, today, very smart plays, batting down that ball and throwing that ball up that we just talked about. Why is it smart to throw that ball up towards that cornerback? You never know. That cornerback never turned his head around.
Never.
You could get it. Did it look like a PI to you, a pass interference, or no?
No, it was clean.
So, to me, what I'm trying to ask you now is, he threw the deep ball, he threw the outs. We don't have that anxiety factor.
No,
we don't have that, and I wasn't like, I don't know. Again, I bought into all the hope that they sold us this year. And
big time. And I mean, I was a hard sell. Like, I wasn't buying the Rex Ryan move at first. I was like, oh, the dude from the Jets, the 4-12 Jets. But oh my God.
Yeah. I felt the same way. Like, now I want to know, what can't Tyrod Taylor do? Because he sees man coverage. What's he do? He sees guys are covered. Dude jets for a 31-yard run or something after a 51-yard bomb to Harvin.
Oh, my God.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
he's
he
incredible.
saw man coverage, stepped in, slid up, boom, out. Just out.
The only thing that still worries me is he hasn't had his big mistake yet. And that's the side of Tyrod Taylor I'm most interested in, is if he takes the big sack or if he gives up that pick six, what's his demeanor like after that? Because up until this point, he's been almost flawless.
You know what? If I was to guess what his demeanor would be, I wouldn't want to mess with that kid. And here's why. Because that stuff was floating around Twitter that he got like a grill for the game. Like he got like, a nice mouth guard with some diamonds in it.
Which I would have had no problem with.
Yeah, I don't give a shit, man. Do what you got to do. You're one of 32. You got the nod. And I'm sorry, but if I had my choice, I'd probably be out there in a jumpsuit. But, like in a nice tracksuit, Adidas stripes. But Tyrod, was so upset over that. He's just like, yeah, I don't know. That's not me. That's not me. And if Tyrod does make a mistake, he's going to be smart enough to diagnose what he did wrong and learn from that mistake. And, people want to talk about the preseason. The first game we saw him, he seemed to want to tuck and run a little bit. Second game, he worked on it. By the time that he faced the Swiss Cheese Steelers on defense, he looked like the next coming of Doug Flutie or whatever. I don't know. Name somebody in there. Michael Vick. Mobile guy that can extend the play, get you out of trouble. And you know what?
Oh, yeah. He's great. He is so great back there, moving the pocket and just staying with it. And that's what really surprised me.
And he wasn't sacked at all.
No. Stayed out of his own way. His only real mistake today is he had that little hiccup where he fumbled. He took the snap. I saw it on TV, so I got a better look at it, I'm sure. He took the snap and was kind of turning the ball around in his hand and just, it was raining out there. You were there. I don't got to tell you it was raining. You were out in it.
Yeah, not really a nice opening day.
It slipped out. But, the way he scooped it back up, it almost looked like he meant to do it. He played it off really well. Same thing with that little fumble with Charles Clay. He fell right on it. It was a fumble, but he still came on it clean,
The kid just moved. Smooth. He's out there, and I'm just like, my friend Sean on Twitter, well, on Twitter, my real life friend, always busts my balls. Freaking Giants fan. I'm not judging, but
I am.
he go. He's such a dick.
I know. I
I,
know. I don't sweat it too much though. I'm friends with a couple Giants fans.
they're all right. I never had beef with Giants fans. My grandfather's a Giants fan.
Our, our boy Jeremy, he's a Giants fan. He gives us a shout out on
And
Instagram.
Jeremy don't know how football works. I mean, I just figured it out. But I post something on Twitter like the Bills. Like, here's what's gonna happen. I said this last week, and here's pretty much what I said on Twitter: is the Colts are gonna try to keep Tyrod Taylor in the pocket and show that he can throw from the pocket and make the damn throws. Because that was the thing that I believe he dropped in the draft of. And he had like a bad throwing percentage, I believe, in college at some point. Which to me, in college, who are you throwing to? So many factors. Are you throwing on the run? Do you have an offensive line? I mean, it is what it is. We don't know how it's going to transfer to the NFL. But when you beat Michael Vick's stats and he was the number one pick, you kind of wonder why is Tyrod Taylor falling down in the draft? But his throwing. They said, all right, we're going to really hone in on McCoy. Ground and pound, ground and pound, ground and pound. Rex Ryan confirmed kind of what my suspicions have been, which was he never said he was going to do ground and pound. Everybody just said, okay, well, Rex is a ground and pound defense or offense and defense.
Well, he said that.
I don't know, man. I don't. He also said you media ran with that in a press conference a few days ago. He said, like, I never said I was going to be ground and pound. It was along the lines of, I said, he's like, this offense is going to be multiple. You guys kind of ran off with the ground and pound.
Well, he's known for the power run throughout his entire career as a head coach.
At the same time, he is, but you got a clean slate. You got a new coaching staff. You have
a
cutting edge,
top-notch offensive coordinator.
I mean, Marty Morningway was nothing to sneeze at.
No, I'm not trying to take anything away from anyone else
that he had with the Jets. I mean, I think that was the best guy he had when he was with the Jets, and it was not that great. But I mean, you have cutting edge and Greg Roman. I mean, first play out there, you got Matt Castle and Tyrod Taylor running out, and we're like, holy shit. And that's like a play that you just throw in the bank to throw on film. Just like, okay, guys, go prep for that. I think that was cool. Go waste practice time on that play, you know. But what I'm getting at is you got Rex Ryan here with this offense and a guy, Tyrod Taylor, who's never proven he could do it starting a game. So if you got this guy, you're going to want to make sure he can't run. You're going to want to make sure you can shut down McCoy. And quite honestly, the offensive line struggled more than I thought it would against a bunch of guys we can't name.
Right.
Yeah, and they made Tyrod Taylor throw.
It didn't end well for him, though.
Right. And I said on Twitter to my friend Sean, I go, look. Or I said in general, I just said, if they make him throw from the pocket, he's going to carve them up. And then I shot him a text, just a HMM, on my way home from the game. And he goes, oh, stop it. That's what he replied back with. Like, yeah. Dude, the kid's I think he's too smart to fail. Do you get what I'm saying? He's too bright. Like, you know, David Lee, the quarterback's coach, raves about him, says he has a photographic memory. He's too smart to fail. Just look at how he tucked that ball away in man coverage, just bounce. He set it up like he was dropping back. Didn't see what he liked. He was out.
Mm-hmm.
He was just out, 30-something yards. And the throws have so much touch on them. They have some zip. The bomb to Harvin was not underthrown, but if it had a spiral, it would have been more out in front of him. A little bit wobbly, but I mean, dude, you're talking like one viewpoint to the other that pass went. Like, holy shit. And he answered the questions to me. How are you going to stand in the pocket? Are you going to panic? No, he didn't give a shit. He really just carved shit up. He had a game like Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And that's what we've been hoping for.
Very solid game. I mean, 195 yards. Passer rating was 123.8. That's phenomenal.
And did you see all the checks he was making at the line, adjusting things? And
yeah, checking in, checking out, yeah.
And it's like, back to that anxiety thing. I never knew really what anxiety was, like I said earlier. And it really is what you get when you trot out Matt Castle. You're like, okay, 10-year vet. What can this guy do? Because I know in 3rd and long, he's not going to do it. Cross your fingers, Castle. Castle, I'm sure you're a great dude. You look like a pro. You move like a pro. You are a pro. But you're not dynamic like Tyrod. EJ Manuel, you're a great dude. I think you could be, with the right tutelage, could be you could be a good football player. But truthfully, you're under a microscope right now, and if you were out there and you throw one bad ball, you're questioning everything. When it's like, I'm watching Andrew Luck throw a couple underthrown balls, a couple bad throws. I don't hear jack shit about Andrew Luck not being the guy. I mean, anoint him a Hall of Famer according to a lot of these people already. I mean, these dudes are swinging from his you-know-whats. So, like...
No, I mean, that's...
I don't get that anxiety with Tyrod Taylor, man.
His style of play is kind of similar to Castle in a way because it's just... It's kind of cross your fingers. Andrew Luck throws kind of a lot of interceptions, but at the same time, he scores a shitload of touchdowns. So he's kind of like the same as Castle, well, like the exact opposite. He you still got that cross your finger aspect, hope the shit sticks when you throw it against the wall. But Castle's timid, whereas Andrew Luck will roll the dice on the big play, you know?
See, I don't know, man. I kind of disagree with all that because here's why. At the Combine, Andrew Luck proved he can run. And we even saw him run today.
Yeah.
He can scooter. And I am not going to take away from Andrew Luck as a football player. My whole point is I think the media has a lot of control on a lot of things. And from a national perspective, Andrew Luck looked good his sophomore year. And it was always, what's up with Luck? Suck for luck, suck for luck, suck for luck, suck for luck. And he's been built up to be this great quarterback. And are you kidding me? What I would give to have Andrew Luck? Yeah, Tyrod, you look good for one game. But if Andrew Luck was available, sign me up. What I would like to see what Tyrod can do? Hell yeah. Dude, I think you're the man. But Andrew Luck really is the next gen of great quarterback. But what I'm trying to say is when you're in a microwave society and you're really nitpicking and you're really honing in on a microscope, and when somebody doesn't show it out the gate, a guy like EJ Manuel is shown the door. When there's a veteran like Ryan Fitzpatrick out there, Kyle Orton, Matt Castle now, you're kind of like, okay, what are you gonna do for me? Because we know you're not heaving that ball downfield. Third and 15, good freaking luck. Are you gonna run a draw? Get them off guard. That's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Seriously.
Andrew Luck though can get out of all that. He really can. Andrew Luck needs a damn defense. That's really what he needs because
his offensive line looked pretty boss today. They did a really good job spreading the Bills rush out, pushing them outward.
Yeah, and he still doesn't have a defense, and it's a shame. It's a real shame because what quarter was it when they finally crossed the 50? Was it like
Third quarter.
mid third quarter?
I believe so. Yes.
So, oh no, they missed a field. Didn't they miss a field goal in the first half or something crazy?
Oh yeah. And Vinatieri
Okay,
missed one. It was like I want to say it was like 42-yard attempts maybe.
But it was just crazy because like
That was hard to kick at.
that defense held them back, and that defense is going to give Andrew Luck fits.
Speaking of kicking at the Ralph though, Dan Carpenter, he redeemed himself a little bit today. I think.
Yeah, I thought he did good.
Yeah, he was on point.
I feel like they played a full game, the Bills today, and that was great. There's not been a complete game with this team, and that's like the same thing I'm related to with Luck. Is like Dan Carpenter did his job today, and that first field goal, I was like,
no, the whole special teams unit did their job today. I mean,
kickoff coverage. It's pretty phenomenal.
Colton Schmidt, on point. I mean, when was the first time the Colts even got to start past the 20? And how many times did they get pinned inside the 10? Like, I think at least 4.
They really got like Bills. Like, I feel like the Bills would always get balls like within the 10. It's like, really? But now, I mean, maybe it's because we have a punter that can boom the ball 70 yards. Like, the dude's freaking like Megafoot. You want to have Megatron, Mega Hand, Carrington, Megafoot. The dude just, holy shit. He just boots it. But you got to have that. If they assembled the team around Andrew Luck, Pagano's on the hot seat. He's got to be. You don't have a franchise quarterback and suck. And like, isn't that why the last coaching staff got gassed and Polian got fired? Was because they didn't have a defense. They didn't have anybody but Peyton Manning. So now in offensive players, like, so now shit hits the fan. And quite honestly, they didn't do too bad against the pass rush.
No.
I mean, the Colts just had 3 turnovers. So 2 picks. And I don't think they did too bad against the pass rush. But to reel it back, to wrap up with Tyrod, I'm psyched. I think we're set there. And Tyrod and Andrew Luck, the Bills had a better run game. Carlos Williams.
Yeah, Carlos Williams really, I mean, he's for real. He is for real.
Downhill. He is downhill.
Yeah, I mean, he put up 55 yards on 6 carries today. I mean, that's comparing to McCoy only getting 41 on 17 carries. I was really hoping to see a little bit more out of McCoy, but I mean, he's coming off the hamstring injury.
I thought when McCoy hit the edge, he didn't have that gear, that extra gear that he usually has. Now, I could be totally wrong. Dude could be 100%, and I could not know what the hell I'm talking about. But to me,
you did point out an interesting fact when we were shooting the shit earlier, and that's getting behind Jerome Felton and following the fullback.
He hasn't run behind the fullback since college.
Yeah,
I believe Andy Reid might have sprinkled it in, but it's definitely
not much though.
It's definitely in college. And here's my thought process on that. All right, McCoy's missed a lot of time. You're in a new offense. Yes, he's in practice. Yes, he's in walkthroughs. Yes, I'm very sure he's capable. If you hear McCoy talk, he's pretty damn bright. He knows what's going on around him. I just think it's an adjustment for him. And quite honestly, the Carlos Williams run, I don't know what the hell Sancho Henderson was blocking on that. Like, it looked, I could be wrong, but it looked like he made something out of nothing. I don't know if it was intended to be a counter, but it worked out as a counter.
Yeah, I couldn't believe he got through that. Got through that opening. He
Because
got through.
Incognito tried getting a block in, nothing against Incognito, but the dude slipped and fell. So like as he's like mid fall, like, and the only reason I know this is Pro Football Focus tweeted out. I believe I retweeted it. And just check it out. I just watched it on replay and just honestly I honed in on the left tackle. Whatever an idiot would do to try to figure something else is kind of what I try to do, like simple things. So I watched each position on the offensive line that plays a nice shot right behind the offensive line. And Carlos Williams, Fred, I love you, but he Fred Jackson did, man. Like, he made something. His vision is disgusting, and he's got that linebacker mentality from playing linebacker. He ain't scared of contact. He wants it.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he's a great compliment.
It's kind of young Fred Jackson. That's the way I look at him.
He's got a little more zip. So I guess, yeah, definitely a younger Fred Jackson. I thought McCoy, get the ball to McCoy in space. They did that today, and that was a positive. He had some receptions.
Yeah, to be fair, he caught 3 balls, 46 yards, and that you can't just dismiss that.
And an offensive line is going to take a little bit to get into work. I honestly thought it'd be a little more ahead than it was.
Yeah.
That's probably the only downfall or concern I would have is that offensive line. And if you shut down McCoy and you confuse Tyrod Taylor, which I don't think you can because, like, that kid's, I never answered the question earlier, but he's going to come back stronger. You screw him up on one thing, he's gonna come back. You're not. He really is that last guy to leave. That typical, he's the last guy to leave the practice field. Yeah, he is that guy.
Yeah, definitely.
He's got great character.
Definitely looking like a leader out there. One thing that made me really happy, and we talked about this too earlier before we did the show. I'm glad Booby got a touchdown.
Yeah, I love Booby.
I'm really glad he got to run that one in.
Yeah, Booby's so versatile, man. That dude will block, and I believe, I don't know if we touched on this for the cuts last week, but the reason John Connor was cut, I always thought and had in my mind too was before they cut John Connor was going to get cut even when they picked him up. I looked at him like honestly a camp body.
Yeah, camp
unfortunately,
body all the
even
way.
though they think he's the best and Rex will say whatever he wants. But I just know Booby Dixon played fullback for San Fran under Greg Roman. And when he was a free agent, he wanted a chance at cracking the running back spot over here. So he came over, and guess what he does? He doubles as a fullback. So if he's on the field, and you got Felton on the field, and you got two dudes who can maul people, especially Felton. He's an animal. I don't think he really showed what he could do today yet. McCoy's going to pick it up. McCoy is going to be some time. I don't think a lot of time because, again, I think he's bright. He's got that kid has a chip on his shoulder. And quite honestly, little thing happened today, which will get to my point that I was just going to bring up. I was at the Red Pinto tailgate, so shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Papagalis and Nick Papagalis there. Great food. Friends with Andrea. Love you, Andrea. And gotta say, they had LaShawn McCoy's aunt there doing a raffle. And I talked to her for a bit, and we just got shooting the shit, and she knows her football. And I was like, you know what kills me? I was like, I do not get why LaShawn McCoy, all these fantasy asswipes are calling him to have a down year. But you're going to keep DeMarco Murray, who, again, I said this last week. I could be wrong, but isn't that offensive line on the Eagles worse than it was last year? And you expect DeMarco Murray to do better than McCoy did last year overall? And McCoy was like still an awesome back last year. You didn't put up close to $2,000 or $1,600 or something, but like he still put up a lot. And like,
yeah, it was like 1,300.
she followed everything I was saying. She's like, yeah, exactly. She's like, Greg Roman knows what's going on. And I'm like, right. And Frank Gore, for you fantasy guys, who do you play under? Greg Roman. So we're in the cards when Frank Gore's knees were supposed to be shot 6 years ago. And he's 32. And yes, today was not a good testament to what he could do. But
no, it was not.
in you know, to devil's advocate, McCoy, it wasn't a testament to what he could do. But I don't think it was all McCoy.
No.
You know what I mean? Because that guy's made lemons out of lemonade. That's a guy, we're talking about Gilmore, prove it, which he has now. Gilmore, I would say, is a great cornerback. LaShawn McCoy has proven to be a great running back. So I'm blaming somebody else. There's something going on there. There's something, it's either a learning curve. If it is on him, it's a learning curve. Again, I don't know. If it's not him, it's the offensive line. But he's got or it's his injury. Maybe he's still nicked up. And his aunt knew what's up. It was really cool talking to her. And she knew a bunch of stuff about, like, it's weird when they know offensive coordinator changes and all the details. You would think, oh, it's just her aunt. It's just a fan. And McCoy, I think, is going to get it together. And you got to keep in mind, the Colts, Tyrod Taylor doing what he did today is going to open up the run game. Hands down.
Oh, yeah, because you can't not cover these guys, and he proved that. You can't leave any of those guys open anywhere on the field.
And McCoy in space.
Like, we didn't see a lot out of Sammy today. Sammy got, I think, 1, maybe 2 targets and no catches, but I mean, he was drawing double coverage, and they exposed that.
They tried to take our 2 biggest weapons away. Really, think about it. They took away Watkins, and they're like, you know what, dude?
And they stuck it to McCoy pretty well.
Yep.
But then Charles Clay was right there, and Percy Harvin said, "Oh, hey, I can still hit that go route like nobody else."
And at the same time, they also had little plays for Harvin where Harvin made something out of nothing on a couple plays. Like, there was one play where they gave it to him almost like a swing pass, I thought, or like a really short pass. I just remember him getting the ball a few yards behind the line of scrimmage and getting over it a couple yards. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, he had a little jet sweep.
I thought he was going to get pinned. But here's the deal. Here's 2 things I'm going to get really pissed off about right now. Is looking at the stats, the game reads differently to you. But point blank, they need to take time off the clock and do a great job. And they did a good job with that offensively. They gave that defensive rest. That's what I thought needed to happen. I'm thinking stats. I don't give a shit about Sammy Watkins' stats. I don't. Is it concerning? Maybe. At the same time, here's the deal. You got to look at the Colts game plan. We'll never know it, but from what I saw, take McCoy out, take Watkins out. So what happened? Let Percy Harvin prove he can be an NFL receiver and not a gadget guy. Let him prove that.
But he can still run the jet sweep.
Yeah, I don't care what he does.
He can catch. He can be the gadget guy. He can play special teams.
I don't care if he's a gadget guy.
You never know where to
toilet guy. Go pick your dog's ass guy. I don't care. Are you on the field making plays? Are you? And that's what the Colts wanted to see.
Today he was.
Do it? Can he do it? You know what that does next week? What's it do next week?
That's gonna free up Sammy a little bit.
Right. You know what that's going to do when you got 2 receivers out there? You're like, oh, shit. It's going to open up the run game. I mean, it's all going hand in hand. It's only up from here. It's only up. I don't think it's a fluke. And I don't want to hear people bitch about acquiring McCoy. So sick of hearing that. I'm so sick of hearing it doesn't take a special running back. You're right, it doesn't. But what he does is incredible. What he's proven to do. And you can't, I don't want to hear, anytime the number 30 is brought up, the dude's 27 years old. oh, that's a cliff where they start to go downhill. Maybe it is statistically. I don't have some big ass studio where I can look up all the stats. I guess I have a computer, but I'm too dumb to figure out where to look it up. So what I'm getting at is McCoy's going to be fine. It's going to open up. This offense is only going to get better. And if you look at the stats, well, Sammy didn't have any catches. McCoy. What about the rushing yards out of Tyrod Taylor? What about the passes he dropped in there? Deep ball, outs. I want to see a little more in the middle of the field.
Right, and
But
I mean,
we know we can do it.
I'm being a little hard on McCoy about 41 rushing yards, but he also had 46 receiving. So, you put those together, that's a pretty solid day. Not great, not legendary by any means, but solid.
Yeah, who could complain about that? Nobody can. You can't. He's got 100 yards in the game. Just one guy, 100 yards. And Percy Harvin had 5 catches today too. That's so crazy. I mean, Tyrod Taylor to Percy Harvin and LaShawn McCoy had 100 yards in the game. Obviously all purpose, and a few receptions, and Tyrod Taylor had yards on the ground, which we knew was going to happen. But a year ago, let's hope EJ Manuel gets better. Let's hope he progresses. It's year 2 in the offense. Let's see where we go from here. Where does this take us to New England? What do you think is up with New England? I thought that Brady looked awesome against the Steelers. And you can't even if the Steelers didn't try anybody out there, and it was against air, which quite frankly it should have been against air with that defense. Dick LeBeau. Man, losing Dick LeBeau for the Steelers.
Yeah,
but Brady dropped the balls in the bucket.
He did do that.
Did they know that Gronkowski can catch and run and do all sorts of shit? Because the Steelers must have never heard of him. I don't know what you guys were thinking.
Yeah, you got to cover that guy. You got to double cover that guy.
I don't care if that is a bottom tight end in the league. How do you let a guy get that open? I mean, something's going up, and you got to figure this. Tom Brady is going to have fits against the Patriots. I don't know how they're going to stop Gronk. And what I worry is, if you take away Gronk, Brady's going to do his signature, yards after catch. It's going to be little outs by Edelman,
Yeah.
They got counters across the line. You know what else I could see? What if Belichick's like, they didn't do so great setting the edge sometimes on those runs. There's just a couple runs. Their first run was for 8 yards, right? From the Colts today.
Yeah.
I could see Belichick looking at that going, you know what? Let's test this run game and see what can happen. I don't know what they're going to do defensively, the Patriots, to stop the Bills. If they stop the run, I'm not worried about it.
We'll eat their secondary.
Because
We'll
those
literally
receivers,
eat them.
Ben Roethlisberger was down Bell. And that tall ass dude, which I am drawing a blank what his name is, because that's how bright I am, that is suspended for 4 games. Isn't it Martavius Bryant?
Probably.
What are you good for?
Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, those receivers were so, the Steelers put up a lot of yards. They kind of got back into it.
I mean, they were right there. It was a 7-point game. They lost by 7. That's one possession.
I couldn't believe those corners for the Patriots. They're not going to... I don't want to say the Patriots are dead by any means because Brady was looking on point. But I just don't see how the secondary of the Patriots can hang. I really don't. I mean, you go from Browner and Revis to that, and it's like to what they have now. I can't even name them.
Yeah.
As you know, the AFC is pretty decent, and I can't even name the dudes that they got on as the corners, and it's really disturbing that if the Bills get crushed by the Patriots, I'm gonna be really disappointed because I'm watching Indianapolis, which I believe has a better roster than they did this year.
I'd say so.
And I'm thinking, like, damn, this team was in the AFC championship game.
Yeah, they did not look good in that game, though.
Touted as one of the most powerful offenses this year.
Mm-hmm. Big yardage offense, more often than not.
And they didn't do squat. You can't blame the quarterback.
They had 300 yards of total offense, but they just weren't putting up the points.
I really don't know what to do with this Patriots game because it's the Patriots. It's kind of intimidating in a weird way. Like, oh, we're going to crush them. Yeah, keep saying whatever the hell you want. They stomped on us. They've stomped on the Bills forever, and they're going to. And they keep cheating. They keep doing whatever it takes to do it. They keep tiptoeing the line. We know what they're about. Either way, the Bills had to play in twice a freaking year, and they got to figure it out. If that means they got to steal their playbooks, go do it. You got to go pay the ball boy, the new ball boy, to get the playbook. Go pay him and get that playbook. Figure it out because I'm sick of seeing these dudes get away with it. And quite frankly, this is the best team the Bills have tried out against them. And damn it, it's our time. All right? I want to see this team run the ball, throw the ball, crush, give Brady fits. And when Chan Gailey was there with a piss-poor defense, which I don't think they were as bad on paper as they performed, I thought the guys were all right that they had back in the Chan Gailey years. I just thought it was the coordinator. You know? So, yeah, they upgraded clearly a lot since then, but they beat the Patriots. Brady threw 4 interceptions. How many times? And I was at that game when they beat the Patriots. And it's like, you're never going to see Brady throw 4 interceptions in a game again in person. At least me. Because I can't afford to go to all those Patriots games just in case he throws an interception. And honestly, I respect that man. Cheating, whatever. That dude answers the call, and I think we secretly hate him because he's what we're about.
He's such a dick.
Yeah, but dude, he's also what we love in a person, which is a hard work.
Such a dick.
Yeah, he wears Uggs.
Such a dick.
We know, but hey, man, I like the hard working thing. Last year, I was like, you know, I better appreciate him. He's getting old. Anytime before last year, I'm like, screw this guy. I hope he gets hit by a bus. You suck. Like
that remains my sentiment.
Yeah, obviously.
Give me the keys to the bus.
What are the keys to stop this team?
The Patriots?
Yeah. What do you think we got to do? You got to get to Brady.
Get to Brady, but don't blow your coverage doing it. I don't think. I think it's gonna be contain Brady. I would almost expect to see Rex maybe roll it back a little bit, do more 3-4 man rushes, and just keep that coverage tight. Because like we talked about, they do have those guys. You have to jam up Gronkowski somehow, but you have to watch out for Edelman. You have to watch out for Brandon LaFell.
If Darius is back.
Darius is back.
Darius is back. If Corey Graham is back, and you have Darius in there, obviously, I think that ups that defense about 10% to 15%. Because
The
you're
way I
getting
look
that
at it,
pressure up the middle from Darius, which would allow Corey Graham to cover Gronkowski tight if he's got to drop down.
the Steelers' defense allowed 28 points when they played the Patriots on Thursday. We can do way better than that. I'm confident we can do way better than that. Ultimately, I see us holding them to maybe 17.
I was thinking 17 as well. That's like the exact number.
Maybe 20. Maybe 20.
I like what the Bills did this past game with the Colts, which is get some points up, deflate that clock. And that's what they did. That's what they got to do. And
Yeah, I think if the Bills can kind of up the ante on things on third down a little bit and kind of really maul that time of possession compared to where we were at this week, I think if the Bills can keep the ball a little bit closer to 40 minutes next week, that they have this game on lockdown.
If that run game comes to fruition, you'll have that. That's all it takes. That's all we were missing offensively was that run game, that consistent run game from McCoy.
And I mean, it wasn't non-existent. As a whole, the team rushed for 147 yards. So it's not that there wasn't run game today, but we need to see
if you take away Tyrod Taylor's yards, we need to see
McCoy hit the home run.
We just need to see McCoy be McCoy. I don't even think he needs a home run. He just needs that 4 to 5 a carry minimum average. You know what I'm saying? And they bottled him up good, and nothing against him, man. No, I'm not holding shit against him. Now, if I see this in 7 games, yo, what's going on, dude? But we're not, man. And I think he's going to get criticized all week. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about the whole Watkins thing. It's only for the better. This is the first game. Last I checked, it's about wins and losses. Emergency news right in. Des Bryant just broke his foot. He's out 4 to 6 weeks.
Yep. Well, glad I'm not Tony Romo.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to look like that. Watkins, he'll be fine. McCoy will be fine. And quite honestly, to wrap up, I just want to rail on something. I am sick of hearing that the refs don't get to get criticized. That the refs, we're not going to, listen to a lot of radio. I listen to a lot of sports talk. I listen to a lot of dumb shit to keep myself going. And anything I hear, we're not talking about the refs, even especially national media. We're not talking about the refs. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. You're going to throw a flag for a kicker hopping over a Bills guy, but a guy clearly runs into Schmidt, and you're not going to throw the flag. A couple personal foul penalties. Yeah, the Bills had some trashy things going on.
Yeah, but I did not catch what happened on that Jerry Hughes personal foul.
I didn't even know there was who the personal foul was on. I don't know what he did.
I still now don't even know what that was about. They got that chop block call against Clay completely wrong. They even said that. Even the announcers on TV were
How was it wrong?
Well, they were saying that he was never engaged, that the player was never engaged with the offensive tackle.
Which is true.
So that makes the block a legal block because the player wasn't engaged at the time.
Now, what is the crime of these guys getting together and talking about it and changing the call, or have it mandatory where flags thrown, immediately it's up on the Jumbotron? That way, you don't got to go under the hood, dude. You see clear as day, you know what, dude, that wasn't it, and you got 4 sets of eyes on it, and or maybe get every guy in there, and you go, you know what, that wasn't cool. Now, what I do like is they did give credit where credit's due. They overturned that catch. Who was it? T.Y. Hilton? Was it Andre Johnson?
I believe it was T.Y. Hilton, but the Bills won a challenge. I just about lost my shit.
You know what that is? The power of Rex Ryan.
Yeah, I had to hit Twitter about that. I was in disbelief because literally over the last few years, Bills were always losing them challenges.
Yeah, and I think it's the Rex Ryan effect, man. Like, did you see him doing like the toe drag on the sideline when they're
Yeah.
showing it?
No, he's great, man. He's great over there.
But just be consistent with it. Cordy Glenn, I think, so it's like, I believe they had, how many penalties do they have?
Um,
They had a lot. They had over
I don't-
100 something yards. But I feel like,
113 yards. I want to say it was 11 penalties.
yeah, and I gotta say, 30 of those yards were fucking bullshit. Excuse my French. Sorry, try not to f-bomb on this thing, but I thought it was bullshit. It's like, and the thing that bothers me about the NFL is be consistent about it. You know what they were showing today? We had our little traditional hibachi China buffet there in Henrietta after the game. And they were showing the highlight on the TV of Des Bryant against the Green Bay Packers. How is that not a catch, man? Like, this is really football. At least mark the dude down on the one. Get out of here with that garbage. 2 feet, touch the ground. He moved forward. And then his arms touched the ground. And then the ball popped out. Last I checked, the ground caused the fumble. Therefore, that's a catch down at the 1. And these refs, how long? Like, does it not feel... Like, I hate to think like this, but to me, I might be off my rocker. Probably. Doesn't it feel sometimes when you're watching like, okay, are you really trying to let the Colts back into this game, refs? Are you really throwing these tic-tac penalties? And I understand why guys don't want to go down this road because you don't want to just deal with conspiracy theories because I don't want to believe it and I don't want to deal with it either. I just want a fair game. If you're going to call, which luckily this game wasn't that, if you're going to call, example, pass interference or pass interference, you got to do it on both ends. If you're going to call running into the kicker, even though they declined the penalty, then not call it the next time, that's garbage. That is garbage. Get out of here with that shit. Put your pride aside. Put your ego aside. Your job, refs, is to get the call right. And why is it the last, ever since Goodell has messed with the rules for player safety, for the League of Denial, if you haven't watched that documentary, that's really screwed up. It'll make your head spin how much they have avoided concussions, have avoided talking about, let's change the rules to make the game safer. You know what the rules should be? All these safety rules? Don't be an asshole. If a guy is wide open to take a lick, don't be that guy. Why would you even think about that? If you're a douchebag and you take that shot, at least in modern day football, because NFL films, I was a kid, yeah, we all love watching the big hits. It's great, but it's still a human being, and they want to make the game safer. Have it don't be a douchebag rule. That's it. If it looks like he intentionally, maliciously attacked him, like Sue, okay. But if you're gonna have all this player safety, all this crap, what's a catch, what's not a catch, you gotta simplify, man. You gotta figure out a way to get this system down to pat. And I am sick of the refs getting a pass. And you also go on like that website. John Murphy will have the one guy on Coaching Zebras or whatever it is.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And you know what? I'm glad he has him on there. It's interesting radio. It's always good radio, no matter what guest is on there. But quite frankly, the vibe I catch.
Speaking of which, though, John, we are available whenever. Just
John,
let us know.
Let me know. Drop me a line, numbillsfan@gmail.com or on Twitter. I tweet you all the time. Not really, twice, but I'm gonna do it more when I get on those show topics. But honestly, with the football Zebras guy, I really thought he makes it sound like he wants to be friends with the refs more than actually be objective about it. He barely ever says that the refs got it wrong. No, here's the explanation of the catch rule. What they did is blah, blah, blah. And honestly, they did clarify it. The catch rule does make more sense. It really does. We're not going to talk about the catch rule. That's lame. But my overall assessment is the guy seems like he wants to be more of a friends with the refs and by their side kind of guy, like hanging around the outside, than he actually does want to be objective. Because if you have two eyes and you don't think that the NFL refs are screwed up, I don't know what the hell you're watching. Because you're having $100 million quarterbacks and Tony Romo and big game guys getting screwed. And it's just accepted. Oh, that's just the NFL. That's just what happens. And that, to round up this whole thing and wrap this podcast up, if you're cool with it, is that's why I'm excited for Tyrod Taylor. Right there. Why? Because with Matt Castle, we saw a 3rd and long against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're crossing our fingers. We're hoping he makes a throw. We're hoping E.J. Manuel doesn't overthrow, underthrow, throw behind, do whatever, which his accuracy is improved tenfold. And Tyrod Taylor, I don't get that. I get, you know what? Every pass is freaking nice. Every pass is calculated. It's nice. He's going through his progressions. And how do you tell he's going through his progressions? Watch his head. Just watch his head move around. Do. You know? And he's like a very smart kid. He batted down that ball. A ball got blocked. He jumped up, batted down. He's like, get out of here.
That was such a nice play.
Football IQ. That kid is off the charts.
Through the roof.
Through the roof.
Well, you know what? One thing that we didn't touch on was, and this is minor. This isn't even really talk worthy, but I just want to throw it out there that one of my favorite moments in today's game was that belly to back suplex that Bakari Rambo dropped on Dante Moncrief.
That's kind of like don't be a douchebag. You know what I mean? That kind of falls into don't be a douchebag because he could have just taken him down.
Took him right to Suplex City, though.
But the rule against don't be a douchebag, it's actually kind of cool that was there because we got to see a suplex.
It was badass. And we talked about this. We talked about this at the buffet. His name is Rambo. It's the most badass name you can have if you're a dude. It's just synonymous with wrecking shit. And he took that dude to Suplex City like he was Brock freaking Lesnar, and it was awesome.
Oh, he played out of his mind. I mean,
today was such a cool day to watch the Bills.
You know what? You know what? Honestly, man, like sports highlights aside, like the plays. Actually, what am I talking about? Cancel all that. Just my top moment, man. From a feel-good standpoint, besides the overall sentiment of Taylor, of Harvin showing up, of Carlos Williams stepping up, of this hope that's like it's bringing some roots. My favorite thing was Ronald Darby stepping up, getting that pick, jumping up in the air, and pretty much saying like, "Yo, Mel Kiper, suck it, dude. All you draft experts, suck it. This team took me with the first pick they freaking had. And Rex Ryan has backed me up. Donnie Henderson has backed me up. Dennis Thurman has backed me up. The secondary has backed me up. Like, I came to play. I'm going to wave you the bird, wave you the middle finger. Get the hell out of here. Because I'm Ronald Darby. And then Rex Ryan meets him out and just grabs that kid and jumps up and down with him with joy. Like, that was like, Rex was so excited for him.
Hell yeah. And I think Tom Brady's going to think twice before he tries to pick on that kid next week.
They tried to test that kid.
That's gonna be on the screen in their film room all week.
You got to say the two X factors that we had in conversations, you and I, for the last, man, since they put this roster together, really is, what can Harvin do? Can he stay healthy? I hate to say that ever about a player, but it's the truth. With Harvin, you can't say that. Can he run routes? Can he do whatever? And can Ronald Darby step up and play some McCalvin once we found out he ain't going to be around for a minute?
Yeah.
And he stepped up.
He damn sure did.
In Buffalo, Bills fans, we have a quarterback.
Yes, we do. And he is the Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, Ty Pac. Maybe it'll catch on. I thought it looked like like Tupac for some reason with this hat on, but the more I look at him, I'm just kind of thinking I should stop talking and end this podcast. So,
yeah, I thought Chuck Pagano looks like my Uncle Jerry too, but I'm probably wrong. But not the Uncle Jerry.
I cannot wait I have not even listened to Rex Ryan's pressers yet. I haven't listened to anything. We might be back later in the week.
We'll be back later in the week.
Maybe for a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, something quick.
We'll talk a little bit more about what's going on with the Patriots. It's gonna be an interesting year. The whole AFC East won this week. All 4 teams are 1-0. It's gonna be a tough division, and we'll get into that. We'll take a look at our schedule coming up next time.
Yeah,
take a look at the Patriots game a little bit more in depth.
Yeah, I'm gonna piece
talk
together
matchups.
Piece together what clues we get from the press conferences, and there's gonna be one Monday, recap what happened. There's one today, and then on Wednesday they always move on to the next game. So it'll be cool to see what hints the coaches drop back and forth. But I'll say one thing: I believe that Rex Ryan. Really, I could be nuts. Coaches always say one game at a time. They save some shit for Tom Brady. Guarantee it.
Oh yeah, they're not gonna let him have an easy time.
No, and if you saw all the monsters they put on the line today, I was like, oh my God. It was, and the coverage held up, man. The coverage held up. You held Andrew Luck in check. Congratulations, Buffalo.
Yeah.
And Rex, I went and got a freaking jumpsuit after. It's a crew neck. I look sweet.
Looking good, man.
I want to drop too much money, but I feel fresh. You all set over here, or are we going more? What do you got? Anything?
No, that's it for this one, man. Follow us on Twitter at NumbBillsFan. I'm on there at NumbBillsAdamD. We're on Instagram at NumbBillsFan. We're on Facebook. We got a little group, NumbBillsFan Podcast.
Quite honestly, we're not too active on Facebook.
We're not active on the Facebook,
because
really.
Dude, honestly, I look at Facebook and I wish I had my 10 minutes back.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Like, dude, I don't care what you do. I don't care that your life sucks. Do something about it. Step forward. I don't know. Call me. If you need help that bad, call me. You got my number. Don't send me a dumbass Facebook message saying, I'm just talking more like my own personal one, saying, oh, hey, do you want to do this? No, dude, you got my number. Text me. I talked to you last week.
Yeah, I get on the Facebook because there's a group that I really enjoy, Bill's Mafia, over 30,000 members strong. Shout out to those guys.
Yeah, shout out to the 26 shirts. They just got into, I believe they just got into Wegmans in Buffalo, which is really cool.
Yeah, I actually want to get that tie rod shirt that they did that looks like the Roddy Piper joint.
I have honestly
the hot rod.
Not seen any of them.
You know the old Roddy Piper hot rod shirt? They did one that says tie rod. It's dope. I want to get it. 26 shirts.
That's
Hit
awesome.
us up. We can be affiliates.
Yeah, right.
We'll take pictures of us wearing your shirts.
I believe all their money goes to charity, and I think their shirts are cool. Like
they make some really nice designs.
Yeah, like I don't even think we need to ask permission to ever plug them. I really enjoy that. Like that's kind of cool. It's just like a little thing going around with the Bills Mafia and a little network.
Yeah, I mean, and they're on Twitter. Follow them at 26 Shirts on Twitter.
But you guys should really check out a bunch of Buffalo media. Check out, if you don't have any, I always listen to WGR. There's the Howard Simon Show and Shope and the Bulldog, and there's each show has 2 hosts primarily, Howard and Jeremy, Mike Shope and Chris Parker Bulldog, and it's 2. Shope and Bulldog do the post game, and quite honestly, Mike Shope can be pretty brutal, you would think. But I think I have him figured out, and I really enjoy it. It's a different perspective. And I think Howard and Jeremy have a different perspective from them, and it's always great. It's always good radio. Like, it's nice radio. It's nice to pick up information. I don't listen to too much national guys, because they got to cover 32 teams, and I want to cut deep. So I'll do that. I think those guys at Hard Foul Sports do a nice job. They have a wonderful website. I keep plugging them because they had that Tyrod Taylor documentary.
Yeah, their website is nice. Their podcast is good. I've been catching up on a couple of those. They cover all Buffalo sports. We're strictly the Bills.
We try to keep it simple. I don't, I don't want to spread myself too thin with everything, and I would rather just cover the Bills because that's what I spend the most time with. I just love it, and I feel the reason we're doing this is we have a different perspective than what we're hearing per se, and quite honestly, why is it called Numb Bills Fan? Because like as a Bills fan, what the hell could go wrong? I was 5 minutes left in that game. I'm like, oh shit. Thinking about the McCalvin game with the Patriots, and I'm like, oh my god, no, come on, hold this out, Rex. Turn this ship around, Rex. I don't want to think those thoughts again. I don't want that anxiety. I don't want any of that. But everything, pick up all the information you can. WGR has a nice, hefty app. John Murphy Show, if you got a podcast app of any site or of anything for your Android device or iTunes. Also check out Numb Bills Fan. And check out Howard Foul Sports. Joe Buscalia has a podcast. There's plenty of audio. I'm a big audio guy.
Just make sure you always listen to ours first.
I think that's a given. I mean,
we know you're listening.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure all the Bills.
If you're hearing this now,
and Rex Ryan,
we don't even have to tell you that.
If Rex needs advice, call me up.
Rex, we're here for you.
Did you see Rex's picture with his?
With his wife's feet, yeah.
In the background.
I love that dude,
was
man.
So hilarious.
I love that guy, man. I'm not judging him.
I think he's a riot, but check everything out. Plug all your information in. Check out if you'd like some good afternoon. Check out Show Up in the Bulldog, especially after work, and they're pretty cool. Like Mike calls it how it is. He really calls it raw.
Yep, and
sometimes you don't want to hear it. Sometimes you're like, no, but then you're like, man, I kind of get it. And then John Murphy is just the end all be all. Whatever John says, I'm like, yeah, I'm there. But I will say WGR also has Paul Hamilton and Sal Capaccio. And I think I agree with those two more than anybody. Well, John Murphy I don't count as WGR staff, but John Murphy, then those two. But that's just my perspective. I mean, everybody else has their own opinion. You got a lot of guys who are involved with stats. They might want to hammer down the Watkins thing. They might want to hammer down the McCoy not doing much. They might want to hammer down maybe Robert Woods not getting targeted as much as he should. They might, but don't let anybody fool you. Everybody did what they needed to. Sammy Watkins had an awesome block.
All three phases were great.
Yeah, everything was solid. But that should be it. We're about an hour and a half into this damn thing. If you're still here and didn't fall asleep, thank you so much.
Get at the Twitter, Numb Bills Fan. I'm Numb Bills Adam D. We're on there a lot.
Yeah,
follow us.
Just tell your friends, please. Pass it along. Let them know. Hey, there's these two asswipes. They talk about the Bills. One really likes sweatsuits and sitting in his underwear. I don't know.
The other one really likes jalapeno poppers and root beer.
Anything fried.
And yeah, basically anything fried.
If you have a deep fryer, just roll over to Deacon's house and just drop.
Please don't come to my house.
Yeah, drop anything in there. You should have seen him at the buffet today.
Yeah, I did work.
Like real work. All right, we're out. Peace. That's it? Am I going to say bye?
Fine. Bye.
Yeah.
Listeners.
Yeah.
Bye now. Yeah. Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.